This is probably the ultimate hack for vocal melody writing. And I think for something to be a hack, it has to save you time, it needs to save you energy. Not only will this method I'm about to show you for writing vocal melodies do both of those things, it's also one of the best ways to capture vocal melodies for all parts of your song, saving you so much time because you're not gonna get bogged down as easily, you're not gonna get stuck in your tracks and unmotivated because you can't think of anything. This workflow is actually based on inspiration. So let's jump in. Here's how you do it. So for this to be really working at its best, I'm gonna be using a few tools. And I would really suggest that you try to get your hands on these same kinds of tools too. Namely, a DAW, so a digital audio workstation, a microphone, doesn't have to be fancy, just a microphone that's gonna plug into an interface. That interface goes into your computer, dumps that audio into your DAW, okay? So I call this technique the melody maximizer, and there are 3 steps to this process. The first step is write to inspiring music. I cannot stress this enough. Sometimes vocal melodies can just hit you, like in your head, but most often the easiest way to flesh out vocal melodies for a song is to have vocal melodies be a response to music that you've created. While you're creating something, make sure it inspires you. The music that you're writing melodies to, when you hear it, it should almost be like you can't help but create melodies, like you just can't wait to write something. You feel and hear ideas coming to you really quickly because the music is killer. Don't skip past this. Spend your time making a really good vibe. This is why in a free guide that I put together about writing songs, I talk about this. This is literally the first step, is to get some kind of vibe going that inspires you, that you think is killer, and it's worth spending your time on because it's gonna set you up for the rest of the process. This technique that I'm gonna show you is actually the next step after this. So you can download that guide for free, link is in the description below, take it, run with it. Now you just have to do the final 3 steps. You got a song. Step number 2 is record multiple takes of gibberish. Literally gibberish. I want you to lean into this stuff. Trust the nonsense that comes out of your mouth because out of that nonsense are gonna come some catchy, good melody ideas for your song, okay? So to set that up really quick, I'm inside Logic Pro. I've got my vibe going. Here's what we got so far. Whew. So to me, that sounds pretty sick. That sounds dope. That sounds like something I can't wait to sing over, all right? And I spent my time setting all that up, just like we talked about in step 1. So I'm just gonna add a new audio track. Again, none of this is unique to Logic. Whatever DAW you're in is gonna let you do this. Just follow the steps and the locations and names of things just might be a little different in your DAW. So add a track on top of your music, your vibe that you already got going. I'm literally going to name this to help me remember Gibber-ish. Love it, gibberish. Here's another little bonus tip with this whole process. When it comes to your vocal take, assuming that you're inside of a DAW and you have access to these kind of tools, put some plugins on your vocal. Like whatever you think makes your voice sound dope, do it. So for me, I'm gonna put this plugin that's like CLA vocals, which I love. For whatever reason, I feel like I like how it sounds on my voice, so I'm definitely gonna use that. I'm probably gonna throw on some reverb here. Love this Valhalla Vintage verb on there. Here's another little bonus tip. On my vocal chain, I am going to use autotune. There's a specific reason why. For me, I have found that autotune can help me find things that I normally wouldn't. Like vocally, my voice will go somewhere, or because the gibberish, right, it was out of tune and then autotune picked it up. It's just gonna be easier for me to recall where I was trying to go or where I should go that sounds good. So I'm gonna put autotune on here really quick. I do have the Interis autotune, so I'm gonna use that. But there are native tuning apps like inside of DAWs now, so you could just throw something on there. But the key, no pun intended, the key is to find the key of your song. Jeez, what am I doing? Okay, I'm gonna go with A major. Okay, so I got my vocal track already. It's all sauced up. I'm gonna be feeling good when I'm on the microphone. Do you see the flow that's going on? We have inspiring music. That's super dope, super killer. We can't wait to sing over it. Then we're saucing up our vocals. Already, I'm set up for awesomeness. I'm set up to get good melodies, catchy stuff, because I'm gonna be really feeling the music, you know? Before we can start tracking anything, this is a critical part of the step. I'm going to take this vibe and I'm gonna spread it out. That's probably good. Let's see what the time on that is. I wanna get at least about two-ish minutes if I can. And I call this the creative runway. You know, like for a plane to take off, it's got a long build up, then it shoots off. We wanna give ourselves time to settle in, kind of get in the pocket, feel the music, because it's usually not right off the bat that something's gonna come out that's amazing. And a big thing to keep in mind too, while we're doing these vocal melodies, is there's this thing that's gonna pop up, and he's called your inner critic. He's gonna be telling you while we're doing these vocal melodies, he's gonna be like, dude, that was stupid. Dude, what, you were off pitch there. Name, how is that even ever gonna do anything? It's this weird voice that we have as creatives. Anybody else have this? Like, where you're trying to create something, you'll start to second guess stuff, and then it kind of bums you out, and then sometimes you just get unmotivated. So during this whole time, I want you to turn off that inner critic, turn on that like inner child that you have that's just like curious and creative and wants to try stuff out. That is going to be the key to finding great melodies for the song. Gibberish, take number one.
Everything is all what you've been doing. Yeah, I've been waiting for you, yeah. And nothing that I wouldn't say is to lose. Yeah. And thinking about us all anytime, ready or not. I've been on a tail, what you feel, what you like, and I want it. Yeah, and I want it. I've been away when you're home and time is something. You better not be late for you.
Oh man, I'm gonna get that again.
Seen it all that our time is wasting. You better not be late, yeah. Oh yeah. Don't stop thinking what you're doing. I don't know what you feel, what you're losing. Don't stop thinking what you're doing. I don't know what you're feeling, I don't know. All we love is you far away. I'll be loved when you fall. For we so many falling. I want your love, and it feeling that way. And I don't wanna see it in that way. And you and me to meet in that way, yeah.
That was pretty cool. I was digging that, man. There's a lot of good ones in there. So there's a couple things that I was doing in there that I've kind of learned to do to help speed up this process even more. So here's some more bonus tips. While you were tracking your gibberish, there's kind of like these different categories of melodies that I kind of try to shuffle through my brain. And I kind of think of them as shapes in pathways, all right? So I'm sure some of this is actually like music theory and it has proper names and and everything, but I ain't really about that. So here's what I would suggest to you if you're not really about that either. You just want to know how to get some better vocal melodies. Here's what I kind of think. Try to think of your voice doing different patterns. So we could think of something like up, right? We can think of something that's down. We can think of something that's a zigzag. We could think of something that looks like a roller coaster that's kind of up and down. You could think of something that's like an arch, building and then coming down. We can think of different directions and patterns for a voice to take to try to come up with different melodies. And we can think about rhythm too, right? Because rhythm and melody go hand in hand, right? Like you could think of like quick notes with your voice. You can think of like long, quick, like typewriter style, right? You know, you could think of the tonality of your voice. You could think of going hard here. You could think of going quiet here. These kind of things can really help boost the number of melody ideas that you come up with. And that's the name of the game here. This system will turn you into like a human melody generator. So I just did one take for the sake of the length of the tutorial, but imagine doing another two. You will have so many melody ideas that then you get to shift through. And that is step number 3, collect your melodies and choose which ones you think are the best. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of listen through. So that stuff kind of, to me, kind of sound like some sort of verse. So I'm gonna go here, made a new track, label it verse ideas. I'm literally just gonna pull all those guys down. I'm just gonna mute that really quick. All right, moving on.
And thinking about us all anytime, really not. I've been on a tail, what you feel, what you like, and I want it.
If you can, while you're doing these takes, audibly let yourself know that something was dope. So right here, if we just listen to this solo. Right? It was, oh dude, I gotta pay attention to that. And I had the same reaction now as I did when I was tracking that thing. That to me is gold. So we're gonna save that. That kind of feels like some kind of pre-chorus potential there, some pre-core idea. I'm gonna drag that guy down, really dig that. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so I just want to show this. This is why I had auto-tune on there, because this take was all over the place pitch-wise, but auto-tune was saving the idea. It was saving the inspiration. It was saving the goal, the end point of the melody idea that I was trying to flesh out. So check it out. Like, it's all over the place.
I've been away when you're hoping time is something. You better not be late for you.
Okay, right, like that's not gonna make the final cut, but thank goodness I had it on there because I can realize, oh, that's where I was trying to go, that's the notes. And I think that I actually tried to flesh it out more. That's gonna be a adios. It ain't all gonna be gold.
Seen it all that the time is wasted. You better not be late, yeah.
Cool, so I'm gonna save that. That could be a cool verse thing. I'm gonna put that in the verse area, like a switch up in verse 2 or something.
Stop thinking what you're doing. I don't love what you feel, what you're losing. Don't stop thinking what you're doing. I don't want what you're feeling.
Yo, believe it or not, I'm gonna put that in a chorus idea for right now. Something about that really went with that beat. And so this was another tip with that idea that was all over the place pitch-wise and stuff, and I couldn't really get, but the auto-tune helped kind of save it. I went back, like in the moment, try to beat yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you had something, you were like, oh, that was cool, okay. And you try to do it again so that you can get a cleaner take that's a little easier for you to reference where you were trying to go when you come back into the session later. Let's see what else we got.
I want your love, and it feeling that way. And I don't
Okay, now.
see it in that way. And you and me to read in that way, that way.
Okay, so that's a little different.
Oh, love is you far away. I'll be love when you fall.
That's might be a chorus.
away. So
I kind of think that this first part.
but I'm alone in the doorway.
But I'm alone in it, and it would just repeat. I wouldn't go into that stuff. So there we go. Everything's kind of categorized over that music. So I've got my verse ideas right here, got some chorus ideas, pre-chorus ideas right here, and then I've got my chorus ideas right here. And something I probably mess with is keeping these melody ideas kind of like in stock, just like hidden or muted or powered off, because if I decided this is gonna be the verse and this is gonna be the pre-chorus, this is gonna be the chorus, and then that's what I'm writing to, it's what I'm like plugging lyrics into and stuff and fleshing out the song, well, then I still have some melodies that I didn't use that are kind of like on ice, so to speak, that I could pull out if I needed to. So if I was like, man, you know what, actually this verse idea really isn't really working with where the song's going, I could swap it out. And maybe that verse idea now becomes a bridge or something, right? There's a piece that I could fill in by saving these melodies because you think these are dope. That's the key. Like, I think all these are killer. I think they all could have their place. The part of the artistry, right, is finding out what are you gonna use, what's gonna best help tell the story you're trying to tell, get the emotion you're trying to get at. If you wanna dive deeper into streamlining things and giving yourself hacks and tips, check out that free guide that I put together. Link is in the description, or you can go right to finishsongsguide.com and move towards completed songs that sound the way you want them to. See you in the next video.